Today it is November 13th of 2022, and what I would like to do here is simply get to something I felt would make a pretty interesting concept for an episode of HWH. Time to present another challenge. This is the Hill Climb Champion set, unassembled as part of the Action series, which is dedicated to children 4 through 10. And so, I felt like this would make a pretty decent episode of HWH simply because of the fact that, well, this obstacle here is basically how you can actually earn points. And lucky for anyone who might be wanting to find out how I would work with this set, I got myself a plan of my own here. First though, we're going to have to get this thing out of its box. Just like that. Also includes its own little launcher. And no, I did not forget about the little card that was sitting up in the front, which is basically a yellow time tracker. But I'll gladly just stick to this. Yep. 13 racers. They'll all have the chance to compete here, but first, I'm going to have to figure out how to assemble this whole thing. Alright, and now, what we got here is a full set, complete with what I'm sure to say could actually be a little storage unit for any models that might have won. And so, what I can see here is probably a decent challenge that can make for a whole episode of HWH. Until then though, well, it's time to test this out. Of course, I didn't put any stickers on it. Wanted to leave it plain just for this episode. First off, we are going to start with the AMC Javelin. First model testing on this model. First model to take its turn in this challenge is the AMC Rebel Machine. Well, didn't quite make it. So of course anyone that does make it will be going through here. Anyone that doesn't will be put on this side, just behind the track. Two timer is up next. Also didn't make it. Hyperfin. Wow. Also didn't quite make it, but you know what? That's at least a good way to know how hard should I smack down on this. I should also disclose that this blue space here does have limited spacing. So if it's completely filled up, then it will basically void everybody else who hasn't already gotten the chance. So, we'll basically fit in a grand total of 6 winners. So far everybody lost, but now the BMW M Roadster will be taking its mark. Nope. That's how that seems to be done. Lotus Esprit S1. Now it's time for Bone Shaker, since nobody else has made it so far. Wow, okay. That certainly didn't work too well. Twang Thang will be going up next. Of course, you can't hit too hard or too softly, so let's just keep going here. Crescendo will be the next model. Oh, wait. Yeah. You know what? That part at the top is supposed to trigger to let us know that it made it. So, even though it fell off at the end, we're going to call it a win. So, that's basically 1 out of 13. We got 7 others, including the Bone Shaker, which is down on the floor. They have all lost, so let's see if Honda Racer can make it. Guess not. Plymouth Prowler, or Chrysler Prowler, yeah. A bit of a tongue twister. That didn't work either. 71 Plymouth Duster. Well, Crescendo's the only one that has made it so far. Only 2 more to go. Here we got another model that I also got pretty recently, simply titled Skull Face. Yeah, that's just the name. Pretty freaky, but freaky enough to get all the way up to the top. Wow. Looks like that's not the case. And finally, we're going to be ending this episode with a classic Corvette Stingray. It touched the trigger, but it didn't actually allow it to actuate. So that's not going to count as a win either. So let's go pick up Bone Shaker. Put that up here. And the classic Corvette Stingray. So, congratulations to the one and only winner of this whole competition, Crescendo. Basically overshadowing everybody there. And so, that pretty much just marks the end of this whole episode. Not necessarily that easy, if you ask me. It's a pretty big challenge to try and get all the way up this hill and trigger this bit right here. So, hopefully you now get a good idea of what you can do with this set if you intend to buy it. It's gotten pretty cheap at this moment, so if you want to pay 13 bucks for this at certain departments, then you can gladly do so, because your kid's going to have a bit of a time trying to get their models up to this piece. So see you next time in the next episode of HWH.